me, you're the rabbi.
We
Who's
are
our rabbi
rolling.
in my shul?
Go.
Okay, I think the Oso Program speaks to our generation. And I say it on several levels. First, on the level of my wife, who received an education, a very fine Torah education. In her time, women were not taught Torah Shebaal Peh, they were not taught Talmud, and she was a Kala teacher, but she was a Kala teacher having learned from books and asking a lot of questions and reading as much as she could. But she really didn't know it. She knew more about it. The Oso Program is a function of times where women are receiving a Torah education on the highest level. Women are capable in Torah Shebaal Peh. They're capable in reading the texts of the Talmud, the Rishonim, the Achronim, the Shulchan Aruch, and all the Nosei Kelim around the Shulchan Aruch. So I think that, number one, we have to adapt to our time as long as it's within the framework of halachic parameters. Women are allowed to learn Torah Shebaal Peh. The Rav said it, and many other people said it as well. And that's a testimony to all that goes on in Eretz Yisrael and at Stern College and other places where women study Torah on the highest level. So to enable women to study halacha, which they're responsible for, and to answer questions in halacha, in any area of halacha where women are included in those laws, is certainly an upstanding and a proper thing to do in our time with the women who are capable of doing it. Furthermore, in the area of Hilchot Nidah, where there is certain special sensitivity, and certainly while there are women who have no problem asking their rabbi a question, there are many women out there who would prefer to ask a woman their question. And of course, it could often be the Rebbitzin, the rabbi's wife of the synagogue, but the rabbi's wife has to refer the question to somebody else. If they could ask a woman who could give them an answer, that certainly would be more dignified for those women. And even the Yoatzot know that in areas which are complex and a difficult shaila and something which is beyond their limits, they also know that they have to ask a shaila of a posek. And so the Yoatzot program is really a win-win for everyone. It's a recognition of how far women have come in Torah study. It's a recognition of the right of women to be able to answer questions in halacha and areas where they are competent. And it's also a recognition of the right to promote more observance of Taras HaMishpacha by making it accessible to women who feel uncomfortable asking sensitive and delicate questions to men. And for that, I salute Nishmat and the Yoetzet Halacha program of Nishmat.
We don't need any.
Rolling.
You have full-time jobs as a day school principal, a shul rebbitzin, and a grandmother. What made you interested in this program?
Well, that's really an amazing question in the sense that there are so many things that made me want to be part of this program. I grew up in a time when women did not learn Talmud, but I was actually principal of Mayanot, where women do learn Talmud. I got a smattering when I went to Israel for the year, in both my year after high school as well as 20 years later when I was there on sabbatical. And the learning of the things that I knew from life experience and from secondary sources was amazing. Having served, I guess, also as a quasi-yoetzet in my shul, being helpful to my husband in terms of fielding questions from women for many, many years, it was also an opportunity to inform that role with genuine learning. And I must say, both the learning, the building of the skills for my own self, the information that I was able to gather, the medical seminars, everything about it was wonderful. And I have to just also say that being with the young women who are so motivated was an inspiration to me. They're having babies and they're still involved in their education. Many have jobs outside their home, and it was a pleasure to be part of this program in so many levels and in so many ways. And I hope that it helps me be a better principal, a better rebbitzin, and a better ima and savta.
Do you want to add anything further about what you've gained from the program?
Well, I think I gained an awareness of the partnership between the learning in Israel with Nishmat and the learning in America. There were so many aspects which dovetailed with one another. The way the Yoetzet program is at least 18 years strong in Israel and is beginning in a similar fashion here was just a wonderful thing. To get to know people like Rabbanit Henkin a little bit up close was just also amazing and enriching and inspiring. And I think that this is a program that was a privilege to attend.
So what motivated you to become a Yoetzet, and why do you think Yoetzet are so important for the community?
I was recently learning with a young woman. I was learning the laws of Jewish family life in preparation for her wedding.
Hold on a second.
I'll start
Do
again.
it again.
Okay. What motivated you to become a Yoetzet, and why do you think Yoetzet are so important for the community?
I was recently learning with a young bride before her wedding. We were learning the laws of Jewish family life. And a few weeks into our learning together, she called me up and she told me she had had a conversation with her mother about some of the things we had been learning together in our lessons together. And she told me what her mother said. Her mother said, you know, her mother said how much she wishes she had someone in her community when she was growing up who could have taught her these halachot in. Okay, can I start again? I'm sorry. I'm very nervous.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to remind you a little bit of what you were going to say? You were just going to talk about your goal to educate and empower women to know enough how to ask the right questions.
I know. I have it. I was reading the sheet on the way here too. I printed it out. Okay, let me just. And she had told me she talked to her mother about some of the things we had learned together. And her mother had said to her, she wishes she knew that she could even ask questions about some of these things. Not even just that she wished that there was someone there to answer those questions, but she wished she even knew that she could ask a question. She had no idea that some of these things were even worth asking questions about. When I talk to young women before their weddings, I always tell them in our classes together, my goal is not necessarily to teach you every little bit of information about the laws of Jewish family life, because there's a lot of information I can't tell you everything. But I always tell them my goal is to make sure that you have enough information that you can always ask the right questions, and so you have the right information that you can get the right questions, and that you feel comfortable enough to actually find someone and ask those questions. This is why Yoetzot are so important. We're there to educate and empower women to have enough information to always be able to ask the right questions. And then we're also there for them to be warm, knowledgeable, friendly women who can go ahead and answer those questions for them. The end. Sure. Women entering the program?
Other women who are thinking about coming into this program, what would you tell them now that you've gone through it, the importance of the program?
I don't know.
Very simple. What's the importance of the
What's the
Yoetzet
importance of the Yoetzet program?
Right.
You can help me out.
I think the Yoetzet program is very important because
What does it provide for the community? I think you kind of
I
already said
think
this.
kind of it.
You could reiterate it.
Okay. Okay, let me just try to.
Knowledgeable, educated women who are available as a resource.
Okay, I think are we on?
there you are.
Okay, I think the Yoetzet program is very important in that it provides the Jewish community with knowledgeable female resources for the Jewish community to answer questions that women have that they're not comfortable bringing to a Rav, because these are, intimate and difficult things for women to talk about with anyone, man or woman, but always harder with a man. And we are providing an important resource for those women so they can feel comfortable asking questions and getting the answers that they need to their important, life questions.
We are rolling.
Why did you want to become a Yoetzet Halacha?
Well, as I was growing up, I always had these two different passions: my passion for Judaic studies, learning Torah, and my passion for biology and health. And when I was an undergrad, I actually was pre-med and planning on going to medical school, but I felt so driven and so drawn towards...
Hold on a second. Go.
Why did you want to become a Yoetzet Halacha?
Well, growing up, I always had these two different passions: my passion for Judaic studies, learning Torah, and my passion for biology and health. And as an undergrad, I actually planned on going to medical school. I was pre-med, but I was also majoring in Jewish studies. And I was just so drawn to the advanced learning that I decided to take that really as my career path. And when I heard that Nishmat was opening up a U.S. Yoetzot Halacha Fellows Program, I really realized that it was the opportunity for me to bring together those two parts of my life, those two parts of my academic passion, so that I could really impact the Jewish community in the way that I wanted to. And I think this has been an incredible opportunity for me to really fuse those two parts of my life so that I can really help women and help the Jewish community, both in enhancing their love of Torah, but also really making sure that that love of Torah is also surrounded by deep understanding of, the way things that go on in our lives, and how we really move through the world as human beings, but also as Ovdei Hashem. And I think that was really a perfect combination, and that's why I decided to become a Yoetzet Halacha. And this has been an incredible opportunity, and I'm excited for my future career.
Great. Go.
How do you want to impact the Jewish community?
I hope to impact the Jewish community by inspiring and encouraging greater observance of the halakha. I think that as Yoetzot Halakha, we have the ability to really empower women to understand the halakha and make better informed decisions. Since we're devoting ourselves to this one area of halakha, we really have time to sit with a woman on the phone or after a lecture to explain something, to answer a question very thoroughly, and to help a woman so that perhaps in the future her question won't come up again, or if it does, she'll know what to do. She'll feel empowered with her own knowledge. In my own work on a university campus, I have the ability to teach these halachot of Jewish family life to a group of women who are really not yet at the stage in their life where they're keeping them, although some of them may be close. And we have the opportunity to study them in depth and comprehensively, and to really build a positive relationship with the halakha, and to work on our understanding so that they can hopefully practice more fully and more meaningfully in the future.
Excellent.
Action.
How do you want to impact the Jewish community?
I hope to impact the Jewish community by inspiring and encouraging greater observance of the halakha. I think that as Yoetzot, we have the opportunity to really teach the halachot. We have time, since we devote ourselves to this one area, to spend a few extra minutes on the phone with a woman, or answer a question after a lecture, and really give her the time to help her understand the halachot better, to help her understand her own situation better, medically and halachically. And I think that we can really empower women with their knowledge of the halakha, so that if a situation comes up again, she'll know what to do. She won't even have to make the call, or perhaps she'll be able to prevent an unfortunate situation. And we can really help women in their day-to-day life. In my own work on a university campus, I'm able to learn with a group of women who want to learn the halachot of Jewish family life at this point in time, even though it's not yet relevant for them in a very practical way. They're not yet keeping the halachot, but we're able to learn them in a very unrushed manner and in a thorough, comprehensive manner. And I hope to inspire greater observance in the future, and to help these women begin a positive relationship, hopefully a lifelong relationship with this area of halakha and with halakha in general.
Okay. Rolling.
How do you want to impact the Jewish community?
My husband and I currently serve as the Rabbi and Rebbitzin of Congregation Darchei Noam in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And since we became the Rabbi and Rebbitzin, I noticed that women often ask me questions about Jewish family life, about marriage in general. And since I joined the Nishmat Yoetzet Halakha program, I've noticed that the amount of questions and the types of questions have changed. I've received many more questions, especially since graduation, and I receive many more more personal questions that require me to have the level of knowledge that I could only get at Nishmat, both in terms of the halachic piece and also in terms of the medical knowledge and the pastoral aspects. And I hope to take the education that Nishmat has given me and to allow the women of the community to continue to feel comfortable asking questions and to get answers that they feel comfortable with, and that makes living as oh gosh.
Okay, you could pick up from there.
Okay, hold on. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Provide answers to the women that face
And I hope to provide answers that allows the women of the community and the couples of the community to continue living comfortably at, I don't know, what did I say?
Jewishly committed couple.
Yeah. I hope to continue to provide a forum that allows women and couples of the community to ask questions and to receive answers in a way that's comfortable for them and in a way that makes living as Jewishly committed couples an overall very comfortable and pleasurable experience. That was terrible.
How do you want to impact the Jewish community?
My husband and I currently serve as the Rabbi and Rebbitzin of Congregation Darchei Noam in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And since we grew into that position, I've noticed that women and couples have always asked me questions relating to Jewish family life and to marriage in general. And since I've graduated, I've noticed an increase in the number of questions I get, and also a change in the types of questions, that people are now coming to me with much more private and personal questions because they appreciate the level of education that I've received through Nishmat, both in terms of the halachic piece and also in terms of the medical knowledge and the pastoral counseling piece. And I hope to continue to provide a forum for women and couples of the community to ask questions in a way that's comfortable for them, and that will allow the couples to live a Jewishly committed life in a way that's comfortable and pleasant for them.
Okay.
Why is the Yoatzot Halacha program so important for the Jewish community?
I think that the Yoatzot, in just a few years that they've been really active in the United States, have already begun to revolutionize the observance of Taras HaMishpacha here in Orthodox communities in the United States. Taras HaMishpacha is now something which women have resources, they have places to go, to discuss with, and it's more acceptable. It's something that now is able to be observed in a way where women feel comfortable observing it, and this is because of the Yoatzot, because of their learning, because of their personalities, and because of the fact that they're women, of course, over everything else. So it really has revolutionized the number of questions that come, and the number of communities that have just had an outpouring of questions to the Yoatzot is amazing.
Can you speak a little bit about the academic rigor and the learning in the program?
Yeah. The level at which the women in the program are learning is a very, very impressive one. Not only do they have to cover the Gemaras and the Rishonim and the Shulchan Aruch and its commentaries, but then we have, besides that, in-depth shiurim on all kinds of practical issues, as well as conceptual approach to the various halachic principles, and study of tshuvos, of responsa, that deal with how these concepts relate to the actual practice of Taras HaMishpacha. So they receive a very, very thorough training in all areas that makes them very, very qualified to work as Yoatzot.
You should have gotten him. Well, he spoke fantastically anyway.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. What inspires you to be involved with Yoatzot Halacha and work toward making them possible?
As I told somebody here today, when I first heard about what Rabbanit Henkin was doing many, many years ago, this was the first tzedakah in which I approached her and I said, I heard what you were doing. I would like to give you some money towards this because I think it's such a brilliant idea whose time has come. And I continue to feel inspired by how Rabbanit Henkin understands what needs to be done and how she gets it done, and the fact that, you know, here we are at the second graduation of the U.S. Nishmat Fellows. She really has the vision and the tenacity that are really infectious. That's what I'm doing here.
And Marcusio, such an important program.
I think it's very important for women's voices, strong, knowledgeable voices, to be heard in the realm of halachic leadership, in order for women to feel strengthened and committed to their religious observance and to feel that they have a presence in the modern Jewish halachic world.
Okay, well, here.
I would also say that it's very gratifying for me to see an area opened up in the Jewish landscape for women to realize their ambitions to be active in the world of halakha and Torah in a straightforward, clear, committed way that can be professionalized and can be respected and can be gratifying for these women as they make their way. So I find that extremely inspiring.
What motivated you to become a Yoatzet Halakha?
Well, I've always loved helping people, and I love connecting with people. I've always wanted to be involved in my community, and I really love learning. So to me, being a Yoatzet really is the perfect synthesis of everything I enjoy doing, and that's my answer.
Can you talk about what you gained from the program?
I gained a ton from the program. I learned a tremendous amount. I was able to learn an area of halacha on a deep level like I've never learned before. I met incredible people and really inspirational women, and it was really enjoyable for me to learn the medical, psychological, social, and other aspects that we learned that relate to Taharat HaMishpacha.
How do you hope to serve your community?
I need to think. I hope that I can be a helpful resource for women and someone who women can feel comfortable speaking to. I hope that I could really make women feel comfortable and empowered in this area of halacha.
The community.
What did I say? Oh, I hope to serve as a great resource for women, and I hope to make women feel comfortable and empowered in this area of halacha, and I hope that I can make women feel comfortable speaking to me and coming to me with any questions or anything.
What would you tell other women who are thinking about going to this program?
Is that what this is for?
How would you recommend it, and why?
I highly recommend this program. It was an amazing opportunity for me to learn halacha and to learn Torah on such a deep level, and I really got a lot out of it, and I really feel prepared to now serve the community.